Hello, a very good morning to all participants of the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project. And of course, the webinar will be in English, so no worry. And from the very beginning, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Elena Boyarskaya, and I represent the project office of the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project. Couple of words about our today's agenda. So I will start with a very brief introduction, giving you some statistical data about the efficiency and effectiveness of the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project. Then we will show you some promotional video, telling you a little bit more about all the important dates and the time schedule of the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project. And then, of course, I will give the floor to our two guest speakers representing two of the best 24 universities. Sergei Zaryansky, representing Ural Federal University, one of the 10 federal universities of the Russian Federation, and Alkalaji Ksenia, representing Tyumen State University. And they will tell you more about their universities and all the opportunities that their higher education institutions are to offer. And of course, I have my colleagues from the project office trying to answer as many questions as you forward to our meeting chat. And for instance, based on what we have had so far during our webinars, the number of questions exceeds 200, and we did manage to answer most of them, either personally, individually, or in the group chat, or then I will take some of the questions and, of course, refer some of the questions to our guest speakers. So having said that, I would like to give you some basic facts about the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project. The project is organized by the Association of Global Universities. Global Universities Association having a lot of experience in running the Open Doors, because the project has been held annually since 2017. So as you can see, we have a long history. And the number of participants during all these years have exceeded 145,000 people coming from different countries of the world. Virtually, whatever country you may think of, we have participants from these countries. And the number of participating countries is 185. So you can see that the geography is quite impressive. And we are still working to increase and improve our geographical outreach. Number of winners, that's one of the questions that we always get. So during these years, since 2017, we have had more than 6,300 winners, and they are students who have studied or are now studying at the best Russian universities, members of the Global Universities Association.
I can, sure. Greetings. Thank you very much for a short introduction. I'm going to speak a little bit about what our university is, so that each and one of the participants understands where can he or she apply to. And let me show a presentation. Can you see it? Is it visible? Terrific. So, dear participants, viewers, and listeners of today's Open Doors meeting, my name is Sergei Zaryansky, and on behalf of the Ural Federal University, greetings to all of you. I would like to deliver some words of gratitude to the organizing committee of the Olympiad for the possibility to present our university today. Without further ado, let us start. There is no better description of what we are than a couple of figures. First of all, of course, our university has more than 100 years of history, and next month we will turn 105 years old. Teaching and studying for this long, we managed to achieve plenty of partnerships with various organizations around the globe. At this very moment, we have more than 50,000 people studying with us, at least 4,900 of whom have come here from almost 100 nations of the world. Now, the Ural Federal University provides more than 400 educational programs taught both in English and in Russian language within 13 different institutes. After a rather short tour of what we are, you might have a question. Why would anyone choose the Ural Federal University? Well, first of all, it is a world-class university where one can study something a person likes in an understandable way. It is a place where different cultures meet each other and form international associations. It is an institution willing to provide employment opportunities and academic mobility experience to anyone skillful enough. Moreover, of course, it is a university where one can feel like home, safe and comfortable to live in. The Ural Federal University is located on the natural border between Europe and Asia, within the Ural mountain range, some 2-hour flight away from Moscow and St. Petersburg, in the city of Yekaterinburg. It is the fourth largest city of Russia, which holds the mantle of industrial, economic, and cultural capital of the Ural region, and we are ranked third by economic development levels. Currently, the university itself holds 419th position in the Kokareli-Siemens World University Rankings, and at the same time is in top 250 universities in several spheres of science according to this same ranking. Also, we hold the fourth position in Russia according to the Shanghai World Academic Ranking of Universities. The lack of language skills is a long-standing issue of the education process all over the world. And that precisely is the reason why our university provides the preparatory courses for all willing to learn Russian language. The graduates of these courses may take the test of Russian as a foreign language, which will give you, the winners of the Olympiad, an opportunity to study in many universities across Russia, but most importantly, with us at the Ural Federal University itself. Also, since you may not be sure what path to take in the future, the language course serves as a conduit of areas of studies you may choose for yourself, including economics and management, natural, medical and engineering sciences, and humanities. At the same time, we understand that many people have some issues with learning language as hard to crack as Russian. Thus, we provide 4 bachelor degree programs taught partially in English. Winning the scholarship will allow you to study with us for free. Now, since you may be looking deeper into your future career, I just want you to consider that you can continue your studies in Russia after bachelor's degree with us as well. We cover most of areas of studies existing, including humanities, IT, natural sciences, physics, power engineering, and many more, except medicine. We are not a medical university, unfortunately. However, we have some programs connected with that as well in the fields of biotechnology and pharmacy and pharmaceutical productions. Now, a little bit about the master degree programs we provide. Even though you may not be interested in that right now, in the future, it may be a good opportunity for you to look into them because we have 14 master degree programs provided totally in English and many more in Russian, of course, across some of the most popular spheres of education. You might be thinking, what will I do after I have graduated from Ural Federal University? Well, you can stay with us as a researcher, of course. And here are some examples of our graduates who still conduct their research within the Ural Federal University right now, today. Last but not least, it is necessary to say that the Ural Federal University has an ability, to house more than 7,500 of students in 15 dormitories located all over the center of the city of Yekaterinburg and close to many cultural, sports, and other facilities. 2 years ago, the university has also received 5 new dormitories in a small town-like neighborhood specifically designed for students and professors to live and research what they like in a comfortable environment. By 2026, we believe that 2 new educational facilities will begin their operations, including the Engineering School of IT Innovation Technologies and Graduate School of Economics and Management. And you may get a chance to be studying in them if you win a scholarship. Some of you might have questions about students' leisure time. To say that the life of the student of the Ural Federal University is a busy one would be a great understatement. Up to 200 sports, social and cultural events are being held throughout the year. The most prominent students are able to participate in the mobility programs abroad, and specifically for newcomers, we have an adaptation center, which helps students to accommodate, to feel themselves like home here in the city of Yekaterinburg, which is probably far away from where you are at right now, but not too far away to study. Now, as we come to the end of my presentation, here is some information about the admission process at the Ural University, which can be accessed any time of the day on our website. The most important part is the list of documents, of course. It is specified on the slide right now. You can take pictures if you wish, or visit it via QR code. All of these will have to be submitted to us after you've won the scholarship itself. Why would anyone choose the Ural University? Well, personally, I can't see anything from stopping you from doing so. Nevertheless, of course, the choice is yours to make. Join us on various platforms in Telegram, YouTube, Twitter, write us a letter, and stay in touch with vibrant and eventful life of the Ural University. Thank you for having me, and right now, if I may, I would like to show you a small video clip about what the Ural University is by sharing my screen. I will turn off my camera for that purpose. Oh, for some reason it's turned out. So in that case, my colleagues will share a link to this video with you, dear participants. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to respond to them. So I will divide my response to that. Thank you for the question. I will respond in two parts. The first will be connected to the Olympiad itself, and the second one to us. As many of the participants may know, the Olympiad has been working closely, tightly with the government of the Russian Federation to gather a grant system for winners of the Olympiad. It may be implemented this year, we are yet to see, but next year it will most certainly operate perfectly fine. What does it mean? It means that any winner will receive additional stipend from the university, which will be granted to us by the government, so that we can provide the student with monthly allowances bigger than a general stipend. Now coming to the Ural Federal University itself and what we may cover. Of course, we are working in the premises given us and delivered to us by the Ministry of Education and Science of Russian Federation. And usually the stipend varies between 3,000 and 10,000 of rubles per month for a student studying on a scholarship basis. It may differ in regards to the specialty a person has chosen. It depends heavily on how this person studies, and it also depends on which project does this person participate in. For example, if you research in the university, of course, your stipend will be bigger. Now, as for the costs of the dormitories and all that, it has been visible in my presentation, but I will repeat it as well. So, generally speaking, living in a dormitory in the Ural University costs roughly $15 per month or something like that, as far as I know. It may differ because we have new dormitories and they cost more, of course, because they are new. And we have also some old dormitories which are being repaired and put into works and all that, but they are not too different from what the new ones has to offer. The only difference, the big one between them, is that the new dormitories are flat oriented and the old dormitories are rather block oriented. So it's not a personal flat where you have kitchen and all the furnitures and all that. So that's the difference. And there comes the cost difference, of course. The new dormitories cost roughly around 25 US dollars per week. Oh, I'm sorry, per month. My mistake. So that's something about that. I hope that resolves a lot of questions coming from the chat as well. Yeah, of course. Well, uh, of course, basically the university does encourage students to join research teams, of course, because, well, that's the most useful thing a student can do in his student life. In the future, he will have to work at some company or in a university, in the government, whatever. And research skills help anywhere. You learn how to find information, how to process it. That mostly covers almost all specialties. Of course, there are specifics, information differs, but still, it's research. Now, coming to an on-campus employment, it's pretty easy. However, you have to find a common ground between yourself and the academic staff. If they like you, or if you're a likable person in general, they of course will try to gather you in what they do, what they teach, what they research. Sometimes students get to teach before they get to research. That also happens sometimes. And by that I mean that they may research not as good as they may teach. So it depends on the person, of course. That's the most important thing here. As for the off-campus employment, it depends on the country of origin sometimes, and also it depends on the possibilities on the local, in terms of local working force conditions, something like that. So it depends on what local companies wish for. Of course, you cannot study and simultaneously go to a company which works in Moscow. That will be disastrous to your education. You have to study in Ekaterinburg and probably work here or work online. That also is a mode. And we do help students if there are some issues with them getting a place in certain companies to get it. For instance, in Ural company, we help our students to get a job position there. Of course, they have some prerequisites and they are quite high, but we try to help with that. The requirements are really high sometimes. As for the university, of course, it's not as high. However, you have to prove yourself in the educational process. You have to show that you can study well, and then a professor will reach out to you, lending a hand and asking you to get aboard the ship of science, if I may put it like that. Yep. Yes. Yes, unfortunately, or fortunately, I can't tell for sure, we are not a medical university in terms of the founding principles. We do not teach surgery, we do not teach dentistry. However, we do have pharmacy, which is connected to pharmaceutical productions, and we have several programs related to biotechnology sphere of education, and also some nuclear-oriented spheres of science, which are not too common abroad, but are top notch in terms of research in general within and without outside of Russia. As we are talking about the pharmacy program, it is available for the bachelor or specialist degree applicants, but that means that you, dear participants, have to win in the bachelor's track and you will be able to apply for it. What they study there, they study how to produce pharmaceuticals, so produce drugs basically, and how to understand what's the difference between them. That's, you've put plainly. I'm not a specialist in that, unfortunately. I cannot deep dive into it and explain everything in 2 words. That would be a long lecture from a professor at our chemical engineering institute, I suppose. And then you will be able to understand what pharmacy as a program is within the university. Now, as for the other programs in the biotechnology sphere, they are a little bit more wide in terms of their focus. They do not try to focus on something related to just pharmaceuticals or just drug production or DNA research. They try to cover every sphere possible, including medicine oriented, because you have also some technical oriented specifics within the biotechnology sphere. Sometimes you have to produce not just pharmaceuticals, but food, for example. As that also is a possibility to consider, I suppose. And if, for example, you are looking into, as a participant, you're looking into medical areas of studies, maybe that would be a wise decision to look into some related but not too close related areas of studies, which other universities, including our university, may provide you with. We do. That's the short response. We do, of course. And if you win in the Olympiad, you may join the programs. I must, however, uh, discourage you. I am not sure what will it do. This program in our university is taught in two tracks, and one is unavailable, unfortunately, for international citizens and international students for the reasons of national security. That is unfortunate. We have some conflicts with the government of Russia as well. But the same professors that teach this program teach the same program, which is open to everybody. So it's up to you to win the Olympiad and then study at it with us at the Ural University. It has been in the making, and as far as I know, it was operating, but we do not have many applicants for it. I mean, in terms of the applicants who apply on a fee-based admission. As for scholarship students, it was open for them to choose for, but nobody did opt for that, as far as I know. This year's winners, and it will be actually good for our participants to understand that this year's winners are still coming to the university. So don't worry, you may be a part of the next year's admission. That is totally fine. We are working on it right now. There were no people who chose this program as their admission goal, but it does exist. I am not quite sure if it will be available for next year's scholarship students yet. It will be available for us to learn about that in the near future. Whoa. In master degree, yes, we do have such a program in forensics. Yeah, we do have forensic studies. Although I am not quite sure what they do there. I didn't dive too deep into that. However, that is also an important feat for you to know. This year, a student from Mauritania applied and has been admitted to this program, so he's studying in Russian. That program is taught in Russian in the master degree. It was his long-standing goal, and now he's a student of Ural University studying forensics, well, criminology. But of course we do. Sure, we do. Yeah, yeah. Bachelor's, master's, PhD as well, and further, forevermore, to eternity and beyond. Yep. All right. Sure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, how can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, the floor is yours. We're all yours.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes, sure.
Great, so we can start. Hello, my dear friends. My name is Ksenia, and I will guide you through the University of Tyumen. So let's start. Tyumen is the first city experience, and I really love the city because it's quieter than Moscow, but in the same time, it's developing rapidly. If I need to visit Moscow, I need just 2.5 hours for it, and it's short distance. So Tyumen is located in a safe zone, far from military threats, so you can like stop to think about it and don't worry at all. The city of Tyumen entered the top 20 cities in terms of living standards, and the infrastructure is constantly developing here. New youth places are opening, and events are held. For example, I love walking along our embankment. By the way, it's the only first level embankment in Russia. I also often visit our drama theater with my family or friends, and it's the largest drama theater in Russia. So, like, it will be very interesting for you to visit it. New plays are constantly being staged there, and there are even some very famous dance performances that you can attend. Tyumen is also famous for its natural hot springs, and it's incredibly unusual because in winter, in the snow, you can bathe outside in hot water and you feel something very unusual. And you can see some of these sites on the photo. The University of Tyumen is among the top 100 universities in Russia, and the mission of the university is to maximize the potential of science and education for human development, changing society and environment. This year, a new academic building was opened, and you can see this large and beautiful place on this photo. Yes. Moreover, we have 15 institutions and 2 branches of the university. Also, I would like to say that our university is international, so every 4th student is foreign. It means that there is a foreign student in every class. Also, you will always be able to make friendship with them. More than 2,300 foreign students from 60 countries study at the University of Tyumen. You will be studying in the modern and equipped classrooms and laboratories where lectures and research are held. Also, we support a healthy lifestyle. The campus of the University of Tyumen actively develops sports. It includes many sports halls, especially the Winter Sports Center, where you can ski or skate, and as well as we have a big swimming pool. In the main programs of study, students do physical education in these centers and exercise rooms, and you can choose a discipline yourself. For example, volleyball, swimming, fitness, and so on. If you haven't lived in university dormitories before, let me tell you that our students really enjoy living there. Demand is very high right now, and the University of Tyumen has 4 dormitories with furniture and equipment, and each student has a workspace and common rooms where you can prepare for classes. All dormitories are located near the campus of the university, and it costs around like $25 to $55 per month. Also, students can rent an apartment in the city. It become popular among students now. You can rent an apartment together with your friends. So, for example, right now in Tyumen, there are new areas with very high buildings where you can also rent an apartment and, for example, drink coffee in the morning with beautiful view. Or on the contrary, you can find an old house in the historical center. It's usually very beautiful. You'll be able to feel this Russian culture there. And the rent of apartment is about $200-300 per month. But I'll repeat that you can rent it with another group mates, friends, so it will be easier for you. And now I would like to tell you more about the School of Advanced Studies. We call it SAS. This school is the most international bachelor's program and one of the most international research centers in Russia, and operating mostly in English. SAS is not divided into academic departments, faculty, and students, and have a shared interdisciplinary space. Also, SAS is a high qualified faculty body, which includes citizens from citizens of 10 countries who studied and worked in the world's leading universities. The SAS Bachelor's program offers a world-class education. It features international professors, the majority of whom receive their PhDs from universities ranked in the top 100 in the world. Also, highly engaging study experience. Around 80% of classes are smaller than 20 students. Also, undergraduate research and projects processes, and a year-long project under close supervision of SAS professors. Also, it's interesting because of internships, exchange programs, visiting professors from foreign and top Russian universities, and guest lectures by prominent figures in business, academia, and the arts. There is also the opportunity to study in Russian language, but you should first complete a preparatory course in Russian. We have 3 programs: the standard course, which runs from October to June. Also, we have the intensive course, it's usually shorter a little, and advanced course for 1.5 years. This course also prepares students in the areas of future studies, for example, like engineers, natural science, humanities, and so on. The preparatory department of the University of Tyumen has received high awards. Graduates of this department have repeatedly won Olympiads and competitions in the Russian language. And we are currently planning to launch an online preparatory course of Russian language. It means that you can complete your studies online while you're in school, for example, and then enroll in an university program taught in Russian language the following year. After completing the preparatory course, you can study in the main programs in Russian language. And why is it better? First of all, the Russian language will help you adapt. For example, going to the store or to the hospital will be easier for you, since you will be able to explain to the employee of an organization what you want exactly. So you don't need to ask help of your group mates, friends. You can just go and explain everything with Russian language. Also, you'll be able to understand the culture of Russian, and additional with the presence of Russian language, the possibility of employment after studies becomes higher. It will be easier for you to get to know Russia through traveling, or you will find many new friends from Russia. And there are people who started even families in Russia. For example, I'm married to a foreign citizen, and I see the importance of learning Russian. So, for example, my husband has been living here for over 2 years, and he also took a preparatory course and interact a lot with locals. So his language skills are now quite high. So I recommend you to study Russian first, and after this, complete the main program. Okay, let's speak about programs of the university. Let's start with the Social and Humanitarian Institute. It presents areas of international relations as well as the study of foreign languages. Students undergo internships in international organizations and have the opportunity to participate in exchange programs. Also, students learning in natural science, they have the opportunity to undergo industrial practice, since there are many oil industry enterprises in the Tyumen region. In addition, the University of Tyumen pays attention to research in the area of biology and chemistry. They are carried out in modern laboratories under the guidance of professors. And now, IT technologies have become relevant areas of recent years. The university provides the opportunity to study software and artificial intelligence. The university has many computer labs implemented for classes. Next majors are in management and economics. Foreign graduates of our university work in well-known Russian companies in high positions. Attention is also paid to education. Students can undergo internships in local schools and universities, and some graduates become employees at our university, and they are successful building a career now. So also you need to take care of your expenses upon arrival in Russia. First of all, this is food, which costs around $100 to $200 per person per month. Of course, it depends on you. It's also important to budget for documentation costs, such as visa extension, medical examinations, and insurance. You'll spend around $7 per month on the internet and communications. But the university and the dormitories have free Wi-Fi. You will be supported throughout your studies at the University of Tyumen. You can join the Association of International Students and realize yourself through creativity, sports, organizing events. The association includes many students from different countries. You will be able to find new friends and also learn from the experience to other students. Within this association, we call it AIS, there are country coordinators who can be contacted with any questions, as well as centers such as Arabic and African. In addition, the university has a buddy system. These are students who accompany new foreign students upon their arrival. They will meet you at the airport, train station, help you with the initial documents, accommodate you in the dormitory, and will provide support during your first year of study. You can find out more about their activities using these contacts and the QR code. So, why should you choose the University of Tyumen? First of all, our city is safe, so don't worry about it, you'll feel comfortable here. Also, the university buildings and dormitories are located in the historical center. All necessary government services and shops are nearby. Also, we have modern classrooms, comfortable co-working spaces for studies. And I would like to say about international environment, many students from different countries, and of course support from us. I would like to say that in this week, our university is celebrating its 95th anniversary. We have a comprehensive program of events, and we look forward to welcoming you to our classes and celebrating our 100th anniversary together. It's going to be very exciting. So our Department for International Students and Recruitment and Integration will answer all your questions. You can contact us by mail, and we are waiting for you. So I'm ready to answer your questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ksenia, for the introduction of your university. And of course, we have a lot of questions to you, representing Tyumen State University, and ultimately the same questions to Sergey. So Sergey, I'm sure you're here with us. So could you just jot down some of the questions so that I will, when I give you the floor at the end of our webinar, you could answer these questions as well. So, of course, we have lots of questions about your programs, your degree programs that your university offer. And the first one is artificial intelligence. So do you have a BA program in artificial intelligence at your university?
Hold on a second, just I need to find some information. Of course, we right now IT majors become very relevant, and we try to open more IT majors for students. And if we speak about artificial intelligence, of course, you can know more about it in bachelor degree in our university.
Okay, good. Medical biotechnology. Do you teach medical biotechnology?
Unfortunately, we don't have medical programs at all, but you can find something close to it. For example, biology. Of course, it's not the same, but maybe you'll find another major.
Okay. Next question is about a doctoral program, a PhD program in environmental engineering. So do you have anything like that? Exactly the same program in environmental engineering or something related to environmental engineering at the doctoral level?
I think we can find something close to it. For example, we have something connects with geography and, for example, yes, I guess it connects with engineering. So yeah, of course, you can write to our mail, and we will find major connects with your interest.
And surely participants can find all this information on your university website.
Of
If
course.
they browse the website, I'm sure all universities participating in the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project have their websites in several languages, definitely Russian and English, but also other languages. So some universities have their websites translated into 5 languages. So I don't think it's a problem for our participants just to browse the website and find a list of programs that your university has to offer. Then the question is, how many of your programs do you offer in English?
Yeah, previously we showed you School of Advanced Studies. All majors there are in English. Other programs you can join just in Russian.
All right, thank you. Next question. So what courses do you offer under the umbrella of arts and the humanities and social sciences? So what are sort of fields of specialization under humanities and social sciences?
Okay, we have one program in English. It connects with arts. Exactly, you can join with SAS, with this School of Advanced Studies. And if you speak about humanitarian, like Institute of Humanitarian, there are some majors connects with with international relations, journalism, media and communication, and tourism.
Okay, yeah, but once again, I would like to draw the attention of all participants to the fact that this information is available on all universities' websites. So you can easily find a list of programs of all levels on those websites. And you can get the links to the home pages of our university through our website, through the Open Doors website. And by clicking on the icon of the university of your choice, you can easily find their landing page. And there, I am sure you will find a list of all programs of all levels in English and in Russian. Still more questions to your university. So how about geology? So is it possible to write a postdoctoral dissertation, postdoctoral thesis, specializing in geology?
Yes, we have this major, and
okay.
Yeah, we can discuss this point with our professors, and of course he'll help you to prepare the research work. And yes, you said correctly before that we also have a website, and I want to add that we have not just English a website in English, but also we translated to Chinese, Arabic, Spanish, French, and even Vietnamese and Mongolian. So you can
that's what I meant.
Check everything. Yes, your language too. You can find this information.
Very good. So no problem searching for information on your university website.
Yeah, very comfortable website we have, so you can find all the information that you need about majors.
Sure. Okay, still more questions about cybersecurity, software engineering and artificial intelligence. Is it open to international students? Russian nationals, yes, but how about international students?
I guess you can have studies there, but it's better to apply, and we'll discuss this point, but I think that it's possible to graduate.
Okay, so it's open to international participants as well. So
Yes.
because as Sergey mentioned in his presentation, Ural Federal has two tracks, and ultimately one track is for Russian students and another track is for international students, which can be explained, of course, by some factors of national security. So in your university, you have one program,
Yeah, we
just
have.
one program.
Yes, and we have for example, we have a computer security too. It's a specialist
Okay.
degree program for 5 years, but you also can join. And information security of automated system we have. It's
Yeah.
also a
Okay.
specialist degree program.
Yeah, so it is open to international
Yes,
students.
yes.
Okay, very good. So same question as to Sergey, the amount of monthly allowance or stipends paid by your university, because it varies, as I said, from one university to another. So how about your university?
Of
Can you
course,
give us some estimate?
yeah, I can tell you around from 2000 until 5, and maybe even more. It depends on the student. It depends on his work, because we also have opportunity to have some additional money if student is really work hard. He take part in competitions and events. So of course we notice the students and help them.
Yeah, sure. So it depends on academic excellence, academic
Yeah.
performance. Yeah,
Yes.
the better it is, the higher the monthly allowance, just like for Russian students. So the principle is the same. Okay, more questions. So how about a bachelor degree program in aerospace engineering? So do you have anything related to aerospace engineering? And then maybe same question about chemistry.
Unfortunately, first type of engineering we don't have. We have some different types of engineering, but chemistry, of course, we have. We have this program, and students can join.
Okay, more questions to your university. Mechatronics engineering and subsea engineering. Do you have anything related to subsea engineering, even though we understand Tyumen is not by the sea, but still you may have this kind of program, subsea engineering courses and mechatronics engineering.
I can say that we have mechatronics, but about second one, I'm not sure. We have, just the first, this one.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Ksenia. Sergey, do you think you can answer some of these questions and I can repeat the names of programs that our participants are interested in?
Can, if I may.
Yeah, I can. All right. So I just asked the same questions to you. Maybe I will start from the last one. So subsea engineering courses and mechatronics
If I understand it correctly,
engineering.
subsea engineering is about laying pipes down the seashores and all that, deep below.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
how I
a
see it. Yes.
unique question, Russia is famous for its pipelines, traversing gas and all that, but they are not subsea. The only subsea gas pipeline which was operating, there are several, of course, but the only subsea pipeline which was constructed by Russia was out of commission, unfortunately, for some reasons, for better or worse. But maybe, if a person chooses a specialty connected to energy, power engineering, and energy-related sciences, maybe this person may, in the future, apply for a job in a company which conducts operations in terms of subsea engineering. That can be possible. Although I suppose, I'm not quite sure, I won't tell that for all the universities of Russia. I suppose there are not a lot of universities which teach that. That is a narrow field of work, of science in general. There are a lot of things you can do on the sea due to the environment itself, the pressure and all that. It's hot. As for the mechatronics, well, yeah, it's all
Mechatronics.
the university itself. We have several programs in it. Some of them are mostly related to mechatronics in classical understanding. Others are in IT sphere when you are virtually constructing the robots. I mean, you create programs which operate the mechanisms that those people built, and these programs are intertwined. They are really tightly together. You can choose whichever you like. That is also possible within our university, both in bachelor's and master's and PhD and further. That is quite a popular destination, if you may call it, for international students to choose, because it is really, really in demand abroad in such developing countries as Egypt, for example, in India as well. So yeah, that would be a good choice, I suppose.
Sure. Aerospace
That is a good
engineering
one.
or anything
That is a
related
good
to
one.
aerospace
We
engineering.
have a program in master degree in astronomy and astrophysics, but no aerospace engineering.
Mhm.
The reason for that is there are not a lot of, once again, not a lot of universities in Russia which teach that, and most importantly, not a lot of universities in Russia which are ready to share this knowledge to international citizens. Because, well, for example, if you are a citizen of Chad, right, in the middle of Africa, probably you do not need the skills abroad home. And what we do as the universities who work with the open doors, with the scholarship itself, with the government of Russia, we try to deliver our knowledge, the Russia's science power, if you wish, to you, to the citizens of the world. That's what we do. We are not going to, gather all of you here, try to grab you out of your countries. No, we're going to allow you to teach all of your compatriots in your home countries. That would be wrong of us to do so, I suppose. And that's not the reason why we don't have it. We just do not have professors to do so. Maybe in the near future, when the development of the uh, pilotless operating systems will be gradually increasing, maybe we will have something. But that is in discussions, I would say so.
Okay, so the question to both universities. So what would your advice be? Is it better to study in English or in Russian? So what would be more efficient? So what would your advice be to our participants?
Well, on the side of Ural Federal University, the response to that will be two parts. The first one is as a person who speaks several foreign languages, and the second one is as a representative of an academic community of Russia. The first one of a person who speaks several languages, that would help you, really. That would help you terrifically and tremendously in both living in Russia and considering your future possibilities. For example, you have graduated, imagine you have graduated from a Russian university with a Russian degree, with an excellence, right? Many roads are open before you. You go to a company, you start working there, and then you turn 40, you turn 30, you turn 50, whatever. But you turn something, you grow up. In the end, maybe the sphere you were studying for is not in demand any longer, but you have language skills. That opens many more opportunities across the board. You can become a supervisor of a project, of joint project between Russia and your country. You can become a supervisor of a joint project between a country which speaks Russian, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, former Soviet Union in general, and also some other countries which also try to promote Russian. For example, Tunisia, that is an unusual destination. It may be useful just in the future. Not now, not today, maybe not so much during the studies, but in the future. That's the first thing. And the second part is, well, as a representative of the Russian academic community, I would like to encourage you to at least join the Russian language course, so that when you come across something unfamiliar, which cannot be explained in any language except Russian, which when a professor, for example, struggles to explain some material to you, you can easily find a common ground between yourself and the professor, between the material you receive. It will be easier for you to study, easier for you to graduate, easier for you to conduct your research as well. And also you will be able to publish your research materials, not only just in Russian journals by submitting texts in Russian, but also in foreign journals, and together with your academic supervisors, which you, of course, will have. So in both cases, both ways, the answer is yes. It is better to join the Russian language than in the program. But of course, I'm not stopping you, and I'm in no position to discourage you from choosing an English for program. If you wish, you can. But mind the possibility that even if you choose English studies, you may join the Russian language course before that. That will help you tremendously with life in Russia, and you will spend at least, well, for the bachelor's it's 4, for the specialists it's 5, for master's it's 2, and for PhD students and doctoral, postdoctoral students it's 3 or more years of life you will spend it here. Think about that a little bit. Do you need Russian? The question is your support.
Thank you. Thank you, Sergey. Yeah, you are very convincing, really very convincing, a very convincing piece of advice. Ksenia, do you have more programs in English or in Russian? Just as we continue speaking about the benefits of studying in 2 different languages, in English or in Russian. So do you have more programs in English or more programs in Russian now at the moment that you have for international students?
Of course, we have more programs in Russian language, and we don't stop students to apply for English taught programs or Russian. It depends on them, but we recommend to study Russian, of course. First of all, it will be easier to live here in Russia because Russian citizens don't know English a lot, so sometimes they will try to help you, but without language it will be more difficult. And I want to remember that Russian language is language of United Nations and international, so important language. So anyway, specialist students will study this language and become a very high-level specialist, I'm sure, with it. Right now, companies ask employees with several foreign languages, and of course, not just English, but Russian too. And I know some students from the University of Tyumen who is in high positions of some companies, very famous companies in Russia. And of course, it happened because they study language and work hard for it. So I recommend, first of all, study Russian, and after this, complete the main program in Russian.
Thank you, Ksenia. And my next, maybe last question to all of you. So what is the international outreach of your universities? What countries do your international students come from? Because we keep getting questions about, do you have students from Pakistan or from some other countries? So where do most of your students come from? What countries? Because both of you work in international offices of your universities. So how many countries, where from, which parts of the world, mostly from Asia, or maybe Africa or Latin America, or from everywhere, just like our participants. 185 countries participating in the Open Doors. But maybe you have some, more students coming from one particular region of the world compared to other regions.
For example, in our university, we have students from all the world and from Latin America and from Africa. Right now, a lot of students come to us from Asia, and we are waiting students from all the world. And Pakistan and Bangladesh is open, and unfortunately, some countries we can't accept because of migration restrictions. But of course, we are waiting for students from all countries, and Latin American students also, because it's far to go from there. But anyway, we have a lot of students, and they will help you with adaptation. So yes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ksenia. Sergey,
so
over to you.
As we speak about the outreach of the university in terms of education, I would like once again divide this point in 2 halves. One would be about the students, the other one would be about science. If we talk about the students, I have mentioned that we have almost 100 nations of the world covered today, this very day. And students from these countries study here, Pakistan has been mentioned, some Ecuador, Peruvians, Mexicans, even United States of America citizens as well. study at our university. Sometimes people from Europe join our university, Serbians, Germans, Finland citizens as well. And it depends on a person's choice, of course, where one will study at. We hope that in the future we may be able to cover as much countries as the Olympiad does. For now, it's out of the question that the Olympiad has far bigger outreach than we do. But in terms of science, I presume it would be an understatement to say that we are covering almost all of the globe, including South Africa, including Argentina, Canada, United Kingdom. So it depends on research teams and their specific areas of research and studies they work in, because some areas of studies are more sophisticated in this country, some in that country. For example, today China is developing at an outrageous basis in terms of research, but not at all levels, not in all spheres. So it still is better to research deep space in Latin America. They have better telescopes there. But it is better to study artificial intelligence in China and in Russia, of course, because we are partners in this thing. So it depends. The response to this question depends on how you perceive the world. If you wish to look only into what the student people do, that would be one thing. But science is bigger than just being a student. In the end, that would be a wise thing to say, that you would stay a student for the eternity of your life, probably, because life will be changing on fast basis, and you will not be able to stay near to what is to come in the future. We don't know. I just hope that whatever you, dear participants, choose, it will be a choice that will allow you to get to a brighter future for yourself. So yeah, that's probably about it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much once again. Thank you, Ksenia. Thank you, Sergey, for being here with us and telling us more about the opportunities that universities have to offer to our international participants. So thank you very much. And I'm sure if our participants have more questions, they can forward their questions to you directly, to your universities directly. And before my very last closing remark, so I would like to take some of the questions again from the chat, because my colleagues from the project office, who have been doing a great job today, because the number of questions that we got today is almost 400, 386 questions, and out of them 360 questions have been answered by my colleagues from the project office, but they just tell me that one question has been repeated so many times, and the question about the kind of devices, of the type of devices that our students can use while doing the test. Can I do it using my mobile phone if I don't have a laptop, or I don't have an access to some, desktop computer? Actually, the rules of the open doors do not specify what kind of device you can use. Any device that you have at your disposal can be used for, submitting the documents and also doing the test. But please keep in mind that it's not very convenient to do the tasks using just your mobile phone. So probably our piece of advice would be to try and find a stable internet connection and use a laptop rather than, of course, a mobile phone. But if you have no other options and just your mobile phone, you can use your mobile phone, but keep in mind the inconvenience of using a mobile phone. So no more questions as far as I can see, and our time has run up. So once again, I would like to thank our guest speakers and my colleagues from the project office for being with us, for answering all those numerous questions, hundreds of questions. And I would like to also thank all participants of our today's webinar for showing your interest to the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project, for your interesting and relevant questions. And we wish you good luck with the Open Doors intellectual competition and hope to see you all in Russia. Thank you and goodbye.